John Walker is better than Sam Wilson. We're gonna understand what he means by that because I don't understand that. Let's just be honest with ourselves. How is John Walker better than Sam Wilson, the Falcon?
John Walker is the best character that the MCU has introduced post-Endgame. Many questions arose at the conclusion of the Infinity Saga as to who would replace the pillars of the franchise that have now retired. Many attempts were made. Whether it be a girl version of a character that already existed, Captain Marvel, or the most diverse team that Marvel created so the whole world could see themselves. Well, none of this really worked. It's thus ironic that a side character on a Disney Plus show, who Marvel introduced to illustrate the folly of selecting such a man to be Captain America, and to demonstrate why Sam should take up the mantle, became a favorite. Not only surpassing Sam Wilson, but post-Thunderbolts is quickly becoming many fans' favorite character, a man who, despite all the problems, all the obstacles, all the needless insults, no matter how low he's pushed down, stands back up to do the right thing. When Steve gave the shield to Sam, there were some mixed feelings. For one, Bucky seemed to be the more prominent character who was at the center of multiple films within the MCU.
Facts. I don't know if I'm one of many, but I believe that the Winter Soldier would have been way better choice for him to give the shield to, but we all know why he couldn't do that. This guy was just on a rampage a couple years back trying to kill the Avengers under a magical spell that was only broken by going to Africa with the Wakandans, bro. And people don't even know where Wakanda is. They don't even know that it happened. So he's still in the public eye as someone who's just not trustworthy. And he did some crazy shit, so yeah.
He was a super soldier and Captain America's best friend. Sam not only did not have superpowers, his aerial dogfighting did not lend well to the shield compared to a grounded fighter. However, there were things working in his favor. He was a veteran, helped other veterans to deal with their PTSD.
And we forgot all about that. I am not gonna lie. When you watch his new movie, you be like, dude, he needs therapy. He is the most egotistical.
Participated in high-stakes battle as an Avenger multiple times, knew Steve personally, and could draw on his experience to make informed decisions. He had no baggage compared to the Winter Soldier. All of this also happened in the comics, so it was not a decision pulled from nowhere. Then, this dog shit show was released, and any interest or prospect Sam had as Captain America died with the show and its god-awful writing, while simultaneously elevating John Walker inadvertently when the writers were trying their best to push him down. And with the release of Thunderbolts, many are now going back and realizing for a character who so ruthlessly mocked and criticized, John really didn't do anything wrong. This video is not an analysis of the show. For that, I would suggest my previous video. This video will discuss the characterization of John Walker in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and in Thunderbolts, addressing some counter-arguments as well, but there will be some overlap between these two videos.
If you guys didn't watch this show, watch it. It's not that bad. It's not ranked the highest for the new Disney Plus shows that came out after Endgame, but it is probably one of their best shows after WandaVision, because WandaVision is the top show after Endgame. I'm not gonna lie. If you want to watch a good Marvel Disney Plus show, WandaVision is a story to watch. If you haven't already watched it, because it came out so long ago. But this is good for like the second watch after WandaVision, if you want. It has no tie-in to anything if you don't already know who the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is. But it's not that bad. It ends well. I like the story. It does have its flaws, though. I think that's honestly the reason why it isn't ranked higher on most other people's, list.
The easiest way to analyze the character and the events in the show is to just go chronologically. When Sam retires the shield and gives it up, the US government decides that they do indeed want a Captain America. For this, they choose John Walker, an Army Ranger with 3 Medals of Honor who has multiple combat tours under his belt. This is an insane backstory. No United States soldier has received more than 2. It's important to know just how impressive Walker is. And it goes beyond the accolades. He had a level of understanding and commitment. He understood the huge shoes he had to fill, nervous about the situation, but with support from his best friend and fiancé, decided to move forward.
Intelligence.
Look, here's the thing. I'm not Tony Stark. I'm not Dr. Banner. Okay, I don't have the flashiest gadgets. I don't have super strength. But what I do have is guts. Something Captain America always had, always needs to have, and I'm gonna need every ounce of it because I got big shoes to fill. I liked that what I was doing would make people feel safe. Steve Rogers was the kind of guy who could do that. He gave me hope.
In his first actions as Captain America, John Walker helped Sam and Bucky. When the Flag Smashers were pushing Sam and Bucky's shit in, it was John and Lamar who came to their aid. And what's the thanks that these two get for their efforts? Nothing. In fact, not only is there no gratitude, they dismiss John. They swat away any chance of cooperation.
I'm gonna be so real with you. When you look back on some of the stuff that like happens after Endgame and like during those time periods where you get the regular main heroes with like some of the side heroes that come in, you realize that their egos are through the roof, bro. Like they have some of the worst egos as heroes, but we don't see that if you're not really paying attention to it. Like if you don't really watch these shows back a little bit, you don't see that Captain America had a little ego too. Like Steve Rogers had an ego, a real big one, but he was more so sweet and kind when we seen him. You know, he was kind enough to be like, you know, passionate for the people around him. Wanda, she was sweet and passionate until she got a little bit too cocky. It even shows in her show, like all of them have these really big egos because they have super crazy powers. But even amongst each other, the new people had to deal with these egos of like, you see Winter Soldier acting like they don't like.
Only is there no gratitude, they dismiss John.
They dismiss him. These are people that have been doing this for years compared to the new guy that they were trying to get, John. They have these over the top egos that you don't really realize. But I believe Sam is the one that's so much more surprising because he was a therapist for combat soldiers. You know, he knows how to be level headed. He knows how to talk to people that have been in war and things of that nature. John Walker, no different. And he has no compassion towards him.
They swat away any chance of cooperation.
It'd be a whole lot easier if I had Cap's wingmen on my side.
It's always that last line.
Like
You lose someone? My wingman, Riley.
Oh, well, fuck me. Now, I can understand an initial animosity given that the United States government went against Sam's wishes of retiring the shield. But this didn't just happen once. Again, John extends his hand, and Sam and Bucky swatted away while being douchebags for no reason. Keep in mind that John actually gets Bucky out of jail here. Only after this happening again does John decide to go his own way, when he is rebuffed for the second time. And we're supposed to take away that John is the asshole here? What? But the implications go beyond this. Even if Sam and Bucky still don't like John personally for possessing the title, you think that these two would be mature enough to push that aside and work.
No, they became douchebags after saving half of the planet. And they weren't even saving half of the planet because they were the half that got wiped away. Winter Soldier got wiped away. Falcon got wiped away. And they come back with these solid egos like they did something. My God, we need to be regarding Ant-Man as better than Sam Wilson at this point. Cause like there's no way this dude like coming back here treating people that's like on his level at this point. I'm not gonna lie, John Walker got to his level or above because he had the serum at that point. Treating him like a douche. Like he don't know how to act. Like he ain't been through a lot. Like bro been through a lot. He been through tours. He had to get this freaking serum in him. He gotta fight people that y'all can't fight together. Like y'all, you and the Winter Soldier. Two guys that went up against an army from Thanos. Y'all can't take on some freaking Flag Smashers?
Work together to stop the larger threat. Surely if they worked together, the results would be faster and some of the harm that came afterwards could have been prevented. Keep in mind how obsessed Sam and Bucky are with the shield in this show.
Look, if we divide ourselves, we don't stand a chance. You guys know that.
Jealous over a freaking shield.
Eventually, the Flag Smashers decide to blow up some innocent people. Up to this point, we know that the Flag Smashers...
Keep in mind, this dude, Bucky, was in Wakanda for a little while. I think before the show aired. And it was in the show like he was in Wakanda. But he left Wakanda and he couldn't get in contact with them again to see if he can get some type of reinforcement like a shield or something like that. Or change his armor around for him to be jealous over a shield. You jealous over a shield, but you came from Wakanda where they remade the shield. Reimagined it at that point. Like, what?
Are willing to die. Additionally, they're super soldiers, meaning they're extremely dangerous. The tension and stakes have increased rapidly. This is no longer a group of thieves, it's a group of terrorists. After Sam and Bucky break Zemo out, go on their side quest in Madripoor, everyone converges on the country of Latvia. It's here that for no reason the Dormelage attempt to kill John Walker for no reason. No, literally, they have no reason. What's funny is that a lot of people took the Wakandan side in this fight. Wakanda forever, I guess.
We put the shield down, and before we could engage with whatever that was going to be, you saw where his head was, right, guys? It was right about here. And then he realizes someone across the room has appeared with a spear, and so he quickly moves back before the spear would have taken his fucking head off. Now, what the hell?
You don't know anything that's going on, lady. You just nearly killed the guy.
Look at Walker's face. That is the audience. Like, what? Why
I'm
did
like,
you...
what the fuck? Why are you insane? The kind of international incident that this alone would cause.
Hey, Wakandans just killed Captain America.
An agent of Wakandan royalty attempted to murder Captain America while on foreign soil. Like, are you?
And bro, this not even Okoye. This is a random Dora Milaje like soldier. Who is this? Why is she playing with the big leagues like that? Like,
fucking
while he was
nuts?
trying to apprehend Zemo, who bombed the UN.
The Dormelage escalate the situation dramatically and initiate with hostile intent.
Who is that, dude?
From the get-go without even knowing the situation. They try to kill him off the bat. What the fuck? And later on, when John has no defense, attempt to kill him, which is only stopped by Bucky, who was moments before laughing at him.
Walker, and she's got the spear pointed at him and he's not attacking her anymore, and she reels back to stab him through the face. And the only reason that she can't kill him is because Bucky stops her at the last minute. And it's just funny how later on in the scene she's like, oh, fuck you, Bucky, not letting me kill this guy who did nothing wrong. Like,
at that point of this, I mean, I don't want to. Well, they're going to spoil the show in this freaking video, but at this point of the show, you are wondering what did John do so bad? Because I think this was before he had his little incident where he, I think, like, killed a random man in the street. But bro, like, there was no actual reason for them to do this. They just didn't like him.
Well, this happens really quick, and I think a lot of people might miss it. This is a shot of one of the Dora Milaje about to execute Lamar. She's about to do it.
And then Sam stops him too.
But yeah, just stopped just in time.
After getting assaulted and nearly killed by the Dormelage for the grievous crime of putting his hand on their shoulder, the pressure and responsibility start to mount. John contemplates taking the serum in a conversation with Lamar, but the reason he takes it, as stated explicitly, is so that he can help save more people. If he was able to stop the Flag Smashers quicker, maybe more people would not have died. John is later vindicated for this. Moving forward, the Flag Smashers set up a plan to kill John Walker. Now this is important. This ambush was set up with the express goal to kill John. This is why Carly lured Sam away.
Everybody wants to kill John
In the
Walker
ambush,
in
Lamar
this
is
show.
kidnapped to further lure John. With the ambush in full swing, this man grabs John to restrain him so that Carly can stab him, delivering the final blow. Lamar, like an absolute bro, comes in with the clutch save to stop the assassination. For this, Carly kills him. This entire scene doesn't make a lot of sense. After this happens, the action just stops, which is odd. The Flag Smashers know that John had a partner. Additionally, they've already killed innocent people to send a message. Why would you not continue to fight to kill John? Whatever. After all the Flag Smashers scatter to avoid culpability, John is successfully able to chase down the same terrorist who tried to kill him.
Now, this guy just tried to kill him. He held him down so that his other partner could stab him.
As he continues to stop the terrorist who attempts to get up multiple times, he establishes control, and as the man begs, saying that it, quote, wasn't me, John kills him. This is straightforward. But no, this was actually the wanton killing of an innocent man by a power-hungry cop on foreign soil. John Walker is wholly unfit for the title and no longer deserves to hold the shield. You can tell because they put blood on the shield with
It's coming back to me. It's coming back. Oh,
ominous music.
goodness, bro.
None of these arguments hold any weight. The first argument is that this man was innocent.
I'm hoping that most of y'all just forgot Falcon and the Winter Soldier because the show is clear to frame John Walker as a villain. He executed a desperate refugee who was begging for his life in a public square with the symbol of America.
Also, he didn't do anything. He didn't kill Lamar. Carly did. This guy was in Carly's crew, but it's made very explicit that Carly, in killing Lamar, was acting outside the Flag Smashers' established plans and parameters. This isn't on Nico, and if you seriously try to argue otherwise, that's a pretty big L.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
At this point, we're literally not following the plot. This man continued to participate in the organization after they already committed a terrorist attack, meaning that he was okay with killing innocent people and still continued to participate and support the group.
But the symbol of hope, the Captain America shield, was used to kill an innocent man to the public's eye, you know. That's why he wasn't fit to hold the mantle of Captain America anymore. Very, very flawed storyline. Could have did it a lot way better. Could have did it way better actually. But that's what they chose to do, and this is in the continuity too. It's still in there. So when you watch a new movie, or if you watch the Thunderbolts, he's still being regarded as not being like capable of holding the mantle, like at all. He even got a new shield in the new movie. So
after this, he attempted to murder John, which failed and led to the killing of Lamar. If he was not grabbing John to kill him, it would not have been necessary for Lamar to step in.
And that death, oh my goodness, bro.
And support the group. After this, he attempted to
Lamar
murder
had like super soldier serum, bro. That's a normal guy that was just really skilled.
John,
like Hawkeye,
which failed and led to the killing of Lamar. If he was not grabbing John to kill him, it would not have been necessary for Lamar.
This could have happened to Hawkeye in any movie, but it just didn't. Plot armor.
To step in. The show attempts to make them sympathetic by showing you their plight and how they are fighting for supplies. But when you go...
Hell, that could have happened to freaking Falcon. That could have happened to Sam in this show. He don't have a serum. He never had the serum, but nobody punched him in his shit. They punched Lamar in his shit.
Out of your way to kill people to send a message, you lose any moral high ground. If it was essential that the terrorists remain somewhat sympathetic, I would have constructed the scene differently. Instead of tying people up and then blowing said people up after the fact, I would have the Flag Smashers conduct another raid like usual. While they're stealing supplies, a brave security guard attempts to stop them. Due to the fact that the Flag Smashers are not trained and don't properly know their own strength, in an attempt to simply stop the guard, one of the Flag Smashers accidentally kills the guard. They try to help him to no avail, but given the dire need to get the supplies, they have to leave the crime scene. Basic stuff. But what the show did is in no way sympathetic. Killing innocent people to send a political message is the exact textbook definition of terrorism. The second argument would be that he is retreating. The issue again is that he's not immediately submitting to capture. This man was trying to get away and would
And I have another issue, but this is so minor. He's chasing this guy, right?
Exact textbook definition of terrorism. The second argument would be that he is retreating. The issue again is that he's...
Why is John Walker so slow? Doesn't he have the super soldier serum? Captain America in his first movie was running faster than freaking cars, but he can't catch this civilian or terrorist that's running at like not even 0.5 miles, bro. Like, dude is not running that fast, bro.
Not immediately submitting to capture. This man was trying to get away and would regroup with the Flag Smashers to commit more terrorist attacks down the line. If John had not done this, everybody would have had to deal with one more super soldier in New York City. This man was fighting almost till the very end. The third argument is that this guy was unarmed. This is true, but he is a super soldier, meaning that he himself is the weapon. He can do serious damage with just his hands, meaning he is always a threat. But also John...
He was a super soldier, so why was he running so slow?
John doesn't have the materials to capture him. The only thing he can do is just hold him here until more people come, and this is plenty of time for the Flag Smasher himself to concoct his own plan to escape or hurt John, as he is also a super soldier. The fourth argument would be some form of that the man was not innocent, but killing him was wrong. Again, this is not an issue. Later on, Sharon kills the Flag Smasher, who's not even engaged in active combat with chemical weapons, and literally no one cares. Sam and Bucky don't bring it up later on. So, killing this guy didn't even seem to matter. The fifth argument is that he has no jurisdiction. This incident takes place in Latvia. Latvia, by the way, is a NATO country. Maybe Latvia in the meantime have developed their own special forces unit capable of taking out super soldiers. However, this option seems unlikely, given the fact I am sure they are more than glad to have someone who is a super soldier hunting down super soldier terrorists. And did Steve not make this point that if in certain cases he did not have proper jurisdiction, if he felt it was the proper thing to do, he would still step in and help, even if it was against the democracies of the world? When Steve does it, good. When John does it, fuck him. The sixth argument is that it's okay for Walker to have killed this man, however, Captain America himself would not do this. This to me is the most interesting argument because it has forced people to take a look back and study Captain America closer and the action Steve takes in combat situations. Not only are there times where Captain America straight up kills people who have little or no chance to surrender, in Avengers Endgame when Thanos is apprehended, Thor in a fit of rage kills Thanos for what he did.
And look how still my boy is right here. Look how still my boy is. He didn't move a muscle when he got his when Thanos got his head chopped off. Must be some soldier of peace, right?
In this case, Captain America neither says nor does anything. Obviously, the magnitude of atrocities that the two individuals committed is
This is our hero. This guy right here. You know who that is?
far apart. But the underlying principle of objecting to such an action should apply based off the counter-argument. This is not to say that this was the optimal decision. There were better ways to handle this. Is it, however, a decision worthy of the consequences that fell on John Walker and how his supposed allies reacted? No, not even close. If the goal is to portray how John lacks certain important traits to be Captain America, an obvious one would be if John could ever go against the orders given to him by his superiors, as this is something that Steve has done. Could John break away from the command structure when he feels the mission or the objective is wrong? By using this as justification, or rather the illustration of John's character to disqualify him as Captain America, is not it. It doesn't make me dislike John in any way. To me, it signals somebody who's willing to take out the threat. It seems like the media-literate crowd took the blood on the shield and the ominous music and said, well, clearly he's bad. See, that's what the show's trying to tell you. What's even more crazy is what happens after this. John is devastated. He not only lost his best friend, his actions are now circulated and are being condemned on the internet. He's at his low point. So the natural thing for Sam and Bucky to do is to exploit the moment to demand the shield back. They don't even care about Lamar or helping out their brother in arms. John recognizes what's going on.
Dude is just getting beat left and right, and these motherfuckers just want a freaking shield, bro. This is what I'm trying to explain. This is what he's trying to explain. All of this is from ego. This is from ego and entitlement because of some wars that they won in the past. Like, they don't even care about the brother that just got shoved into a wall, died instantly. But they care about some metal piece of shield that they want to take the mantle of because they feel like they deserve it, bro.
Refuses to give the shield up because he himself has not done anything wrong in his eyes. So for this, Sam and Bucky attack him, break his arm, and steal the shield. What the fuck? Some have attempted to make the argument that Sam and Bucky are reasonable here and are only doing this because of what Walker did in the previous episode. This is not true. The show at one point had Bucky suggest that they just beat him up and take the shield. And then they do exactly that. They ask him once, he refuses.
Like thugs. These are thugs in this episode. They are thugs.
And then they proceed to beat the shit out of him. No concern for his mental state, no concern or acknowledgement that a fellow brother-in-arms just died on their mission. Just give us the shield or we will beat the shit out of you.
Let's take the shield, Sam. Let's take the shield and do this ourselves.
We can't just run up on a man, beat him up, and take it.
You don't want to do this.
Yeah, we do.
Now let's be rash. If Steve was at least still alive, I promise you, he would not be on board with these two morons fighting over a shield that could be replicated in so many different ways because it already was replicated already. They are literally fighting over a shield they think is more important than actually being a great super soldier. They think that the shield makes you a super soldier. No, you make yourself the super soldier. You make yourself the ultimate soldier. Sam knows that. Bucky, I don't know. He just got out of this mental warfare that he was fighting. But even Steve knew that. Steve barely had the shield at one point, and he was just fighting with combat, straight combat. When he was fighting Winter Soldier and Captain America Winter Soldier, sometimes he had his shield on the freaking ground. Fighting hand-to-hand combat.
I would like to point out that for a while, John was winning against both of them, showing what an absolute beast he is. And after Sam and Bucky steal the shield, they just leave him there. But wait, there's more. After losing the shield and the title, John is then discharged dishonorably from the military, meaning he no longer even gets retirement. What? I have heard many arguments that the show is not hating John. They are in fact creating a morally gray character. The issue with this is that the show never really presents it this way. Within the show, it's seen as a terrible action. There is no debate, no back and forth. Everybody in all institutions just see his actions as bad. And the show never really presents the case for John. It only condemns him for it. But when watching the show, it rings hollow because you yourself have seen the full context and know John was justified in his action. At this point, most men would break, stripped of everything you have worked so hard for, seeing your dreams and hopes crumble before you while nobody has your back, with the people you looked up to and extended a hand of cooperation stabbing you in the back. It's here that villains are made.
Thugs.
But not John Walker. He comes back to stop the Flag Smashers again. He creates his own shield to which he pins his medals of honor to remind him of who he is and what he's fighting for. The Flag Smashers set up a plan to kill the world leaders in charge of the GRC, elected representatives from around the world. In this battle, John is faced with the dilemma, either pursue Carly for revenge or save the innocent. John chooses to do the right thing. His decision to take the serum is vindicated, as without it, all these people would have been dead, and Sam couldn't make his stupid speech at the end. Even as he tries to save these people, the Flag Smashers attack him. Without John here, these people would have been dead. And after all this, John just walks away. No fancy speech, no pomp or circumstance. He just leaves everything behind, giving up the shield and the title. Now compare this to what Sam has done throughout the entire show. Not only does he give up the shield because he himself is not ready, when Walker gets it, he now starts to want it back, and is essentially biding his time till the perfect moment. While doing so, he also takes this terrorist side in effect.
You have to stop calling them terrorists.
I have seen people's attempt to explain this speech by stating that Falcon does not side with the terrorists. He's making the point that the politicians are using the label terrorist to dismiss the complaint, and avoid taking action to resolve the problem by dismissing Carly. I could buy this explanation if I had just ignored all of what Sam has done and said throughout the show and in the finale. From start to finish, Sam Wilson engages in constant apologia for the Flag Smashers. Even after they've killed innocent people, Sam continues to defend them with the lightest criticism.
What?
Carly bombed a GRC supply depot.
What? What's the damage?
11 injured, 3 dead. They have a list of demands and are promising more attacks if those demands aren't met in full.
She's getting worse. She's just a kid.
His first defense is that she's a kid. Carly is 19 years old in the show. In the United States, you are considered an adult and would be tried as such. You can join the military and vote. This is a poor excuse. Will the victims' families be okay with this light approach? Because the person who roasted their family members is young, so we have to take her lightly? At what age would Sam take her seriously?
School shooters are young. School shooters are never. I don't know any school shooter. The school shooter that was down here was younger than 19, buddy. I know there's some older ones, but sometimes they're really young and they get the full penalty.
If the bombs went off and his family was caught in the vicinity, would he still be running apologist talking points that Carly was simply a child? When Bucky directly asks if her end justify her means, he responds that she's different and not motivated by the same things. But you would think that regardless of her motivation, killing innocent people would inspire some level of anger. His chief issue being that he quote-unquote disagrees with her methods. Now the chief question is, to what degree does Sam disagree? Have the Flag Smashers' methods reached a point that regardless of their broader intentions they need to be stopped, which could include killing them? Or is point that regardless of their broader intentions they need to be stopped, which could include killing them?
7 out of 10.
Or is the disagreement relatively small that could be hashed out with a conversation? For Sam, it's the latter. Sam will exchange punches, but when it comes to Carly Morgenthau, all he can do is beg and
I don't want to
plead.
hurt her. She's a kid. I don't want to hurt her. Oh my god. Please stop hurting us, please.
In one of the earlier confrontations, he insists that simply speaking to Carly will be enough. Either way, none of it matters because Carly is not going to come in. I would think that after Sam figures out just how far she's gone, he would change his attitude, but he doesn't.
Are you going to increase your army?
He doesn't.
Are you going to increase
Oh. This is why he didn't want to kill her. They had something going on.
your army? You're killing innocent people.
They're not innocent. They're
Why you
roadblocks in my job.
smiling while saying, you know, there was. I'm telling you, there were flaws in this show, bro, and there's deliveries in this show that weren't really like top tier deliveries, bro. Like, there's no way you should be like, hey, stop. There's no way you should be smiling while telling somebody that they're killing innocent people.
You're killing innocent people.
They're not innocent. They're roadblocks in my journey, and I'd kill them again if I had to.
Wow.
Surely after hearing this, he would understand what needs to be done, but no. And it's seen as a shock when John comes in to arrest her, but she obviously escapes and can cause further damage because of Sam's delusions. If they just did everything to capture her in the vulnerable moment, most likely further harm could have been prevented. When Sam ends up facing off against her again, it's the same thing again. Instead of fighting to take her out, he again just starts begging and trying to convince her. Sam, because of your weak approach,
Bro, they were sleeping together, bro.
Carly has been able to attack the world leaders on US soil. It is because of your lack of seriousness that she has been able to plan and execute more attacks.
If you watch it, they got through most of their plans because Bucky and Sam were not paying attention to them that much. They were a lot, but they will get there so slow. They'll be trying to take the freaking shield.
There is no virtue to try to negotiate with her when it's clear that she will not willfully walk into a jail cell. It gets even worse when Carly is beating him. He states that he's not going to fight her.
Not his girlfriend.
At this point, Carly has stolen supplies, blown up innocent people, killed a member of the United States military who is
And he's still
on the same mission as Sam, set up a plan to execute and kill world leaders, and grievously wounded his friend.
And he's still talking about he don't want to scrap with her.
And yet he's not going to fight her. Fuck you, dude. Even when she's about to kill him, Sam just stands there. He's simply unwilling to harm Carly because he agrees with her. Even after she dies, the show presents it as a great tragedy. All of this further reinforces the point that Sam, for the large part, agrees with her and only has criticisms of her methods, which don't even matter if you're not willing to respond with the appropriate force to neutralize the threat. People point to the fact that the Flag Smash
You know who would have killed her? You know who would have dropped her like a fly? Steve.
are struggling, that many refugees need help, and so making whatever decision Carly wants will help people. But the senator proposes a question. A person comes back after 5 years to find people living in his home. Who gets the house? There is no clean decision. Either way, somebody will be screwed over.
And the people who reappeared only to find someone else living in their family home, they just end up homeless? Look, I get it, but you have no idea how complicated this situation is.
You know what? You're right. And that's a good thing. You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up.
Somebody will need shelter. Whoever you favor in this decision, the other party will hate you and could rise up against you, just like the Flag Smashers. All the supplies and the things the Flag Smashers steal are ostensibly going to someone else who needs them. And any inefficiency of redistributing resources is to be expected when dealing with such a large bureaucracy like the GRC. Based on the premise of the show, whichever direction you decide, people will be screwed over and could rise up against you. When confronting Carly, she says that the genesis of her anger was being kicked to the street.
They started a war as soon as they kicked us out of our new homes and onto the street. People all around the world need me, millions of them.
But if the policy was reversed and the people who came back were kicked to the street, then ostensibly it would be that group of people who decided to rise up against you. At the end, the senators decide on a different direction. However, just because the show does not have the courage to show the negative externalities of their new decision does not mean that they do not exist based off the show's premise and the logical conclusion. Coming back to the shield and title, this is another egregious decision the writers make. I mean,
I have a question. Like, it's not a question, but it's like a theory. Like, what if you were like about to commit suicide right when the snap happened, and you just came back, and you just found yourself in free fall, and you committed, like you actually just ended up dying? Would it be like, oh, I didn't even realize it? You'd just be dead at that point.
they really do Sam dirty here. Historically, in the MCU, there are continuing themes that it's not actually the powers or the equipment that make you the hero. Otherwise, the hero would just be getting the gear or randomly being in the right place to get the right powers. That it's actually about the individuals and who they are. In this show, however, the obsession over the shield and title is severe. The moment Walker gets the shield, Bucky is looking for opportunities to get it back. In fact, before anything happens, Bucky states that he is going to take it back. Understand that regardless of John's actions, this was always the plan.
World's upside down. We need a new cap, and it ain't gonna be Walker.